And this time with a wrath that you cannot even begin to imagine. And Biafra must come. I know the game they are playing. There was this stupid video that is in circulation. You know that they can't attack ESN. They can't. They have no moral ground. But I'm sure they gave money to some idiots and gave them guns to say they are Biafran army. I don't know if they're up to 6 or 7 of them, which is a lie. It's the DSS creation. So they can have justification to say to Biden or the US ambassador, can you see they now have Biafran army? We can now move in to attack them. Anybody, if you are involved in that video, take a you want to give Fulani Janja with the reason to invade our land. That's what you're doing. But we shall get to that later. Anybody involved in the circulation of that video is a gunner. I'm telling you the truth. And those that made it. That is how people behave, because they don't understand the game plan of the Fulani. People are very foolish. Fulani will come to you and want to use you and you succumb because you have greed, envy, and jealousy inside you. Which one again is Biafran army? I'm asking you. From where? How many people? The day I will bring out the Biafran army, we number over 200,000 standing. Reserve is over 1 million. Some bunch of idiots somewhere, because you're serving your Fulani Janjaweed masters. We'll get hold of all of you. Take a uno. We know the bad eggs when we see them. We warned people against voting for Buhari in 2015 when he was still alive. The same Buhari died in 2017. People, all of you know that Buhari is dead. Today he's young, tomorrow he's old. You see his hand is fresh today, tomorrow. Nobody knows who is who anymore. All of you are there, but because it's the turn of your village. Your brother is a senator. Your sister is a House of Reps member. You don't want to lose that money that is coming in every day. You come out on social media and you're talking rubbish all the time because you're a black person. You don't understand. There is something called economies of scale. Some of you cannot reason very well. You claim you went to school. Sometimes I wonder the type of lecturers you had in your useless schools that you went to. I wonder, honestly speaking. Because you and your family, you are benefiting. Somehow you think that life is okay for you. Because of the level, or should I say the poverty of ideas inside you. Any day your relative goes into the farm, the Fulanis will kill them. All you can do is to lament. Say things are bad, though, and you go and you sleep, and nothing gets done about it. It was I am very, very grateful to Almighty Elohim that the courage today that you have in Yoruba land is because of ESN. The courage of Amoteku to say no to Fulani is because of ESN. Because of Eastern Security Network. That is why they found the courage to say no to Fulani. If not, they will not do it. After all these years, without the should I say all these months, without the coming of ESN, as Amoteku said, we are going to flush out Fulani headsmen from our bushes. Never. It's because they saw us, they have seen us doing it. They said, oh, we might as well do the same thing as well. In order to it's called a pincer movement, to cut us off. They got some people, I don't know whether, maybe in Olu or whatever, got them together, gave them, say, we are Biafran army, a few idiots. They are shooting down, we are Biafran army. Inside somewhere. Did we tell you that we have formed the Biafran army? We said when we form it, the world will know that we have come. I don't hide anything. If you claim you are behind any useless group calling themselves Biafran army, show your face because I'm showing my face on video. I claim ownership of not ownership, of course. I can claim responsibility for ESN. Can you claim the same thing for Biafran army? If you claim you're a human being, that's to say it's all the handiwork of DSS. Mad people every idiots everywhere. Africans and lack of discipline. You don't have discipline. You don't have discipline. That was why the white man came and conquered you, because you lack discipline. After the white man must have finished with you, Fulani came from Senegambia, because you have no brain. Lack of discipline. Every idiot thinks they can lead. They don't know what leadership entails. Every monkey thinks, oh, maybe if we have it. Nobody is funding IPOB ESN. It's only IPOB that's funding it worldwide. If you think you can bring 2 or 3 people together with a few rifles, and because of that, you can start calling for funds, you are wasting your time. You don't know our people. They won't give you a dime. Fulani is making use of your brain. You cannot see it. They come to you. Oh, why don't you fight Yoruba? Oh, Yoruba is against Igbo. Igbo is against Yoruba. Fight each other. The same thing they did in the constitution of Biafra land. They told, I know the game they are playing. That
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. I greet you according to your time zone, and I welcome you to this program. While you are joining us, share this video, invite others to join wherever you are watching from. Are you watching on YouTube, Facebook, on Twitter? Share the video. Don't forget to follow the pages where you are watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't forget to click the like button. That algorithm may do the sharing. And we are live and we are direct. We are live and direct. The time now stands on the 18 minutes on top of the hour. 18 minutes on top of the hour, regardless of where you are watching from. Today is the 19th of September, 2023. It is 18 past 8 in Biafra land. 18 past 8 in Biafra land. So great and wonderful people of Biafra, you are welcome to this program. You are welcome back, where we are going to continue where we stop. And in this time around, we have, things to talk about. If you look at the image right in front of you, it is the image of the video that I posted earlier about sisters and fathers. We're going to touch on that because there were some people who gave me some Bible quotation to ask me to go and read, because the argument was about people claiming they are married to Jesus Christ or they are married to whoever. So in that regard, we're going to touch on that. But the most important thing we're going to talk about, it is the UK visa application center that is that is being proposed in Enugu. We're going to talk about it because of course there is a lot of question as per what exactly is going to be the reason why after all these years they are bringing visa application center in Enugu. Because if you understand the type of relationship we had, so you will know that there is always a reason. There has been a reason why we cannot have these things close to our land, close to our people. So we're here to talk about the reason why it is coming there right now. And on the other hand, you will see there is a news that says that France suspends visa for all the students coming from this region. All the students coming from this region. Let me try to mention the names of those places that France suspended their visa. It is students. It is not head of state. It is not military, but students. They suspended their visa. Okay, they suspended the visa to Niger Republic, Burkina Faso, and Mali for the students. If it is actually said that they suspended the visa for the head of state or the military juntas in those areas, I believe it will make more sense. But in a situation whereby they are suspending visa for the students, I believe there is something more to it than we can understand. Because if we look at the fight from coming from the France and their friends against those military coup leaders. It was about to restore democracy, but now we have seen where it is going, that it is no longer about restoring democracy. I am going to give you evidence of such news. But first of all, this important, there is also something we are going to touch on if we still have time. We are going to touch on as Kenya, South Africa patrol in the eastern DRC, in the eastern Congo DRC, which is Congo. They are patrolling there, making sure, trying to safeguard and the United Nations is also with that joint patrol. So we are going to read the news to understand exactly what that patrol is all about in that region. We know there has been a lot of armed groups, that is making that place ungovernable, that is making that place people to run away from those areas. So when you look at the military strength of Kenya, it is actually, their military strength is actually growing, because it's not long ago they've sent military to somewhere in the is it Jamaica or somewhere that side. They deployed military to those areas. So we are going to touch on many things, but first of all, we're going to start with the intro, because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a British citizen. I don't know what Facebook is doing this evening, morning or afternoon. I don't know what they are doing, but whatever they are doing, we will see to it. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a British citizen. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was captured from Britain, from Kenya, which Britain was. Just one moment. Let me find out exactly what's going on Facebook. All right. So, of course, all of us, we are aware of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, how he was, captured in Kenya. When he traveled from Britain to Kenya, which Kenya is seen to be the third world country, which is African countries are third world country according to this big world. So when he, things that they could not do in Britain because British land is actually allergic to corruption, allergic to illegal activities. So they had to, shift it to the third world country where illegality is prevalent, where off the book activities is prevalent, where disfranchisement is prevalent, where violation of human rights is prevalent. They decided to push it through there, and they now gave information through their clandestine to make sure that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is captured in Kenya. So in so doing, they decided that their citizen whom, because we know they are well aware, they are part of the plan to capture Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is exposing all the agenda and activities of Britain. So they decided that they will capture him in order to make him quiet. And today, after capturing their citizen, after helping Nigeria through their clandestine to capture their citizen, the worst case of it, or to throw it or to rub it on our faces, it is to bring visa application to Enugu. We know, of course, that we've been asking questions that why has it been that in the past 60 years, we have not had any British visa or any embassy in our land. There has never been an embassy in the land of Biafra. It has always been about we have to travel more than 500 kilometers in order to go and access embassy. So it becomes problematic. We ask that questions. We understood that it is as a result of a land that development should not come in according to the plans and according to the trajectories of the neo-colonialists, that development will never come into our land. And as a result of that, our land was robbed of this industrialization. Our land was totally deindustrialized to the extent there is no seaport, there is no international airport, there is no embassy, there is no refinery. The only thing that you see in our land, it is oil exploration. Oil exploration. There has never been development in our land. Our land is where they do their own stealing of oil, stealing of natural resources, stealing of raw materials, but they will never develop or ever talked about development in that area. Yet, in the last 60 years, they did not think about this. The only time they now realize that our people are traveling to Britain in the last 60 years post-colonialism. They only realize that our people are now traveling to Britain. Only now that the agitation is going to a new level. Only now that we are getting the global attention. If you understand, each time people ask, what are you people doing? What are these people doing? Our struggle now is actually taking a very important shape. Thank you to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, who set up a formidable structure led by Mazi Chike Doziem. And that structure, they've been doing wonderfully well. It is only an enemy that will continue to ask, what are you people doing? This and that, because they do not know exactly what is going on, because they want to know exactly what we are doing in order to find a way to sabotage it. And we have restricted them from accessing our information, so they will continue to do what they do best. Randomly trying to sabotage us. Randomly trying to do anything in order to sabotage the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. But I can categorically tell them that the whole world knows that we have distanced ourselves. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu also have distanced himself from, first of all, by making sure that the double agent called Aloy Ejimako is no longer coming to tell us after visit to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That is very, very important. That is very, very important. So, of course, as we proceed, we will understand that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a British citizen. Now Britain is trying to bring visa application center to our land. Even though their own citizen is captured, their own citizen is kept in a solitary confinement, their own citizen is on arbitrary detention, courtesy of Nigeria. They did not show us that there is, that the life of that citizen matters, because that citizen happened to be a black person, that citizen happened to be an African, that citizen happened to be a Biafran, to be precise. That citizen happens to be Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. So his life does not matter. So if, citizens that are from Africa that goes to Britain and settle, and now when they have issue where their own countries are supposed to, come for, give them consulate assistance, they are nowhere to be found, because the citizen is preaching for what is rightfully ours. The citizen is actually preaching for the freedom of his people. That is the reason why. So what make you think that bringing visa application in our land, it is going to solve our problem? And if you think about it, you will understand that it is a systematic way for our people to begin to run away from our land. Because the more you are running away, the more it becomes easier for them to exploit and explore your resources without any problems. Because if you look at it, once you people are on your land, one day you are going to rise up to look for what is rightfully yours. One day you are going to see the poverty and feel, the heat of the poverty which they have institutionalized in our land, and you will begin to ask questions. So as a result of that, they have seen that this is part of what our people want, and they know how emotional our people are. They decided that they will bring you visa application, not an embassy, visa application center to Enugu. That is what Britain is trying to bring to you. Visa application center, where you will apply, where you will pay, because it is all about, the money and the benefit they are going to get from you. Remember, if you go to Britain, you will understand there is nothing so, wonderful about Britain. If you go there, you will understand it is a beautiful country. It is a good infrastructure. Are you there to look at the infrastructure? Are you going there for a greener pasture? So these are the things you are going to ask yourself. The Europeans are crying about migrations that is coming into Europe. They are complaining about migration. So when you look at this issue of migration, you will understand that the reason why they are crying about this migration, it is the influx of people who did not go through the border. And when you want to go through the border, you will pay for airline, you will pay for visa, you will actually, there are a lot of things you will pay that will benefit the country where you are going. So they want you to spend money to come. If you arrive there and you don't, if you don't, put yourself in order, there is possibility that you will be sent back. That's the way it is. So the visa application center that is coming to Enugu, I don't think there is anything to celebrate about it. If we already have Biafra, if Biafra is already restored, and they say they are bringing us embassy, they say they are forming a bilateral relationship with us, they say they are, forming alliance, whatever alliance with us, it is actually, it will make sense. But for them to say, we are bringing visa application center to Biafra land, Enugu to be precise, where they have managed to deindustrialize every, area. Make sure that there is no essential amenities that is accessible in our land in the last 60 years. And it is only now they have realized that our people are traveling. This embassy that is placed in Abuja, how many northern people are traveling to UK? Other than some of those politicians' children, how many are they? But on a daily basis, our people are traveling to UK, including those who are going for holiday, tourism. They are traveling to UK. And they made it so difficult for them that they must access Abuja first or access Lagos first in order to, apply for this traveling, what do you call them, visa. So now we have been complaining. They decided they will bring us visa application center. because they know our people want to run away from where they come from. It is an easy access. Once you start seeing it, maybe they have seen that no, people are no longer making it, to Britain so much. No, so they have to bring it closer to you now, so that you will now have access to apply to run away from your country. I don't think it is a good idea. I don't think it is a good news. It is not a good news. It is to rub it on our faces. We have taken the man that is fighting for your right. Now we are bringing you a visa application center so that you will go where they will sell your security information at any time. When you decide to fight for your right from your country of origin, when you decide to call your leaders from the country where you come from to account, when you decide to demand for what is rightfully yours, they will sell your security details. So that is exactly what I believe they have come to rub on our faces, because if you check the antecedent of Britain, or will I say the antecedent of the kind of relationship we have with Britain, it has always been a relationship where one person benefits while the other person suffers. It is a symbiotic relationship that we've always had with Britain, and it will not change now, because Britain is very, very, these people are very, very mean. We talk about France all the time, because if we understand, France is always present when they are oppressing you. They will be present when they are oppressing you because they have no shame. But Britain knows how to be systemic, how to do their systemic operation. They know how to deal with you without you seeing the presence. They establish what will actually exploit and explore everything that they want from your land before leaving. They make sure that they deindustrialize you, make sure that you will be dependent on them as a colonial master, so that you will be able, before you do anything you want to do. So those people are very, very wise. They are very, very intelligent. So when you look at the activities, you will see that even that visa application, it is not it is not going to benefit you anything. It is not for your benefit. It is for the benefit of this, this parasite, this parasitism relationship. It is the benefit of that parasite that is feeding on us. That is their benefit. And that's why I call it symbiotic relationship. When a mosquito is biting you, you might not feel a lot of pain, but you might feel itchy. You will do like this and say it's nothing. But in a long run, especially in Nigeria, that mosquito bite will turn to become a malaria. When it becomes a malaria, you will now find out, no, that mosquito bite that bit you that day, you just killed, and you acted like nothing because it wasn't that painful. But now the poison is now going to accumulate in your body and resolve to malaria. Now you will now start feeling the heat. So whatever they are doing, the system they have established in our land, it is a system that hurts us in a long run. It is not a system that you will understand when it is established. Because during the establishment, there will be so much motivation coming from your people who are paid money in order to make sure that this thing is, the establishment of this is successful. That is what they do. So let me be honest with you. It is not a good development bringing you closer to how you will be running away. It is not a good development. It is actually rubbing it on our faces. It is actually trying to manipulate their ways into the minds of our people. If you check the activities of these factions, they have created, attacking IPOB or claiming they are IPOB. It is all about to bring down that that zeal that we are using to fight for our freedom. For people to begin to say, if this is how Biafra is going to be, we are not interested. So that is exactly what they plan to do, but it is failing. It is failing. Whatever you see they are doing today, those factions they have established, whatever you see they are doing, most of them does not know who they work for. A lot of them does not know exactly who they are killing for. They believe, no, we have somebody speaking Igbo, and they're directing them to go and kill they're going to kill their own people. They don't understand. They will not know, because it is about people trying to kill the zeal in which we are using to fight for our freedom, which I know they will never ever succeed. That is one important something that they need to know, that our people are very, very formidable, and we are dedicated and determined to make sure that we get our freedom, regardless of what anybody think about it. We are ready to get our freedom, because we must make sure that the shadow of these sufferings that we are going through in the hands of Nigeria, in the hands of Britain, will never touch our children, will never get to our children. That is the reason why we will have no choice than to continue. If we go back now, we are all doomed, because our people are those whom they have actually mapped out. They have set us up for total extermination. That's what they have done. But it is very, very important that you know that we cannot go back. We must continue. Now, if you look at what is going on in court, there was in Nigeria and in Britain. If you look at what is going on in Britain today, you will know that in Britain, there are few MPs who realize that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's, what they are doing to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is illegal. That Britain is supposed to look for her citizen now, but at the end of the day, it is swept under the carpet. It is flouted, because the man in question is a man who is doing what so many people cannot do in Nigeria, standing up and questioning the status quo. That is the man. So the only thing that scares a white man the most, the only thing that scares European colonial masters the most, it is a black man rising up to question the status quo, a black man rising up to demand for what is rightfully theirs, just like you have seen what they are doing with French. The French is doing with their colonies in the West African region. I know that Facebook, you are dealing with us. That's okay. Continue. We will continue. So, you will see what they are doing in those West African region. And what they are doing now, it is, French, it is up to, it is a little thing now for French to come out and start fighting in public, naked. If you see what they are doing, it is up for a little small thing now for them to come out and start fighting in public. I want you to see something. I want you to pay attention. Let me read for you. Before I read it, in conclusion, our people in Enugu, our people in Biafra land in general, we need to lend our voices to conscientize our people, to make sure that we sensitize our communities so that people will not go out there and start selling their land because they are now seeing Britain a visa application center in order to run away. You are running away to where there is nothing for you. You are only going there to do a menial job. There is no Egombute because all of you who are looking for Egombute, there is no Egombute abroad. There is no Egombute. Only ma chozukwu itinye aka n'ihe ọjọọ aka kpalụ gị ịgbadawa. So there is no such thing. Even you sitting in Biafra land, you might even have access to Egombute more than going to all these places. You spending years and years and years of your lives without achieving nothing. Many people are stuck in these countries, looking for a way to go home. The day somebody, a good Samaritan, will now say, no, let us provide a free plane to go to Europe and repatriate all our people who are in Europe, you will find it happening. A free plane, you will find our people trooping in, wanting to go home. So many of them, they are not there because they want to be there. A lot of them are there because they want to go and, they are stuck. They have no other option than to go there, than to be there. They don't even have money to repatriate themselves back home. That's why so many of them are there. But I am going to tell you that if you want a better deal for yourself, if you know you want a better deal for yourself, it is very, very important for you to make sure that place, it is not your friend. Unless you have money, people can travel, but don't go and sell your land. Don't go and sell the last thing you have because you have seen visa application center. We know that the country is bad. We know that the country is draining. We know that the country, everybody wants to run away, but do not sell the last asset you have in order to run away. You are not running to go into greener pasture. You are running to go and suffer more. The only thing that is different is that you will see steady electricity, which the sabotage of those who colonize you will not allow you to have such steady electricity in Nigeria. That is the reason why you will actually, find a way to adapt, because you see good infrastructure, you see steady electricity, but it does not put food on your table. That is exactly what we need to know before we go down into the next business of the day. Before we go down to the next business of the day. One moment. I think they are trying to kick us out. Okay, I believe we are back online on Facebook. If you are watching us on Facebook, we are back online. Kindly share the video on Facebook again. Share the video on Facebook again. And sorry for that interruption. We are back online. If you are watching on YouTube, click the like button so that the algorithm will do the sharing as well. We are back online on Facebook. So if you are coming back on Facebook, share the video and alert others that we are back. We cannot stop. We continue to move forward. So great and wonderful people of Africa, where we are heading now, it is the declaration and the plans of the French government to get back at those coup leaders. That is exactly what we are going to read. We are going to read this news from. We are going to read the news from. Is it called from France Diplomacy? We are reading it from France Diplomacy. So it is a news about the visa suspension. Let me read so that you will understand exactly what is going on. How the Europeans are fighting hard. How the Europeans are fighting tooth and nail to make sure that their colonies are not going to breathe, are not going to be free from them. That is exactly what we are reading. I want you to share the video. Listen attentively so that you will understand if this is about restoration of democracy or is it about, about why do you decide to have your freedom? Why did you not call us? Why did you not allow us to be controlling you, even though we are leading you to the dish? So that is the anger coming out from these Europeans who saw some people, some countries in sub-Saharan region taking up the fight and making sure that they restore their dignity and they take what belongs to them. I am going to read. France diplomacy say, France suspends visa for students from Niger. Let me see if I will be able to bring it to your screen. Maybe I can, but let's try. No, it is not coming. So, it says, France suspend visas for students from Niger Republic, from Niger, from Burkina Faso, and Mali. After suspending visa for artists, France is now doing the same for students from Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, citing the closure of French consular services in the countries as making their delivery impossible. Now, I hope you are listening. They block the visa from the artist coming from one of these countries to France. They now block the visas to all the students to make sure that they do not have access to go back or to go and study in France, in order to pay them back for saying no more colonialism. For saying no more colonialism. I have seen that Facebook is actually does not want us to preach what we are preaching, because we are talking about oppression and colonialism. Each time they begin to suppress this broadcast, it means that we are speaking what they do not want us to speak about. But we must talk about this. Whoever that gets to have access to it. Colonialism is killing Africa. These people, they are not even having sympathy on what they have done to Africa. They do not have any sympathy on what they have done with African women and children from the time of slavery to the time of slavery, colonialism, and all that. They have deprived us of a good life. They have dealt with our minds. They have killed us. They treated us like animals. Yet when we want to talk about our problems, when we want to actually cry, they will now blocking us not to cry. Why? Because these people are actually trying to make sure that they cage us like animals, that we may never come out from their cage, from the cage of neo-colonialism, from the cage of neo-slavery, that we may never be informed, or we will never conscientize or sensitize our people with regards to the activities and the antecedents of these people. It is not even antecedent, because these things are still taking place even as we speak. That is the reason why Facebook will not allow what we are talking about to trend. It is not like we are propagating a fake news. We don't propagate fake news. What we are reading is now in front of us. We do not propagate fake news. That is exactly what is going on. They don't want our voices to be heard. But if it is to push propaganda that is going to favor the big world, the European countries or United States, you will not see suppression. Just like you will understand during the time of COVID, how Facebook, YouTube, they were blocking people from saying the truth. They make sure they block people from speaking the truth. After COVID, they're now saying, no, we made a mistake by blocking people from this and that. The same thing they are still doing, because they don't want people to hear the truth. Because even the Bible said that we shall know the truth, and the truth shall set us free. And that truth, that is what I am here to speak. And I am here to remind our people that Europeans are not our friend. That is exactly what I am here to remind them. As long as they have dealt with us, they will not allow us to complain. They will not allow us to cry. They are not our friend. And they are showing us over and over again that they can never be our friend, because we are not human as them. They see us like monkey, Homo erectus. They don't see us like Homo sapiens. And when a human being does not see you as a fellow human, what do? You take care of yourself. You take care of yourself. That's what we are trying to do, to take care of ourselves. They cannot even enable us or allow us to take care of ourselves. That is how bad these people are become. That is how bad they have become. They will beat you, and you come out to cry. They will say, block you from crying. You don't have right to life. You don't have right to complain. You don't have right to call for a better deal. That is the reason why people like Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is suffering in solitary confinement. Look at what I am reading today. It is about French, because people of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger Republic decided that they no longer want colonialism. After how many centuries of this colonialism, they can never get enough. They will never get enough, because they place their stooges in the name of political leaders, that they will continue to use them to use you. Now, these people decided, no, for you to see, they claim they are giving financial aid to these countries. They were giving financial aid. Okay, let's just focus on Niger Republic. They were giving financial aid to this country. So what was the financial aid for? For the less privileged, right? For the poor people. That is the financial aid, what it was for. Now, you suspending the student from going to schools in French. In France. What does that mean? It means that you have never meant well for them. It means that you have never given them any financial aid. It means that you've been stealing from them and claiming you are giving them financial aid. Now, when you cannot steal from them anymore, you are now claiming no more financial aid. Now you are blocking people who use their money. Because you could not allow them to develop their countries, to build a good infrastructure, good universities, or good schools where the people are going to attend. Now, in so doing, because you did not do it, you want them to be traveling, bringing this money into your country in order to access university. You want them to be dependent on you, and they are now dependent on you. You are now coming back to suspend their visas, because you are now seeing that the country is taking over their own country by themselves. They no longer want outside interference. Now you say no. I thought that there is a saying that says there is a time or seasons in life, time to live and time to die. So there is no time to colonization and time for freedom. There is no time to freedom in the dictionaries of these Europeans. There is no time for freedom. That is exactly what they are telling us. We can never be free from them. The same thing applicable to all of them who are the colonial masters. There is no time for freedom. But we are going to prove all of them wrong. This is the time for freedom. And there is nothing anybody can do about it. It is time for African children to be free. It is time for African men and women to be free. This suffering has gone very long time. We are going to change the faith as fast as possible, so that let them hold their financial aid. We do not want it. It has never helped any person from the ground. It has never gotten to help anybody that is suffering or that needed it the most. It has never helped them. That financial aid, it is called, they are using it to give stipend to their stooge called your president, which they have placed in the position of power. That so-called financial aid is their stipend fees that they're giving them, so that they will continue to act like their stooges. Because this move of France, the move of USA, the move of European Union, blocking financial aid, blocking every aid that they were giving to Niger Republic in the wake of this coup, it shows that these people, they are never ever caring. They have never cared about these people or their poverty or anything. It is all about stealing their resources. How come immediately when Niger Republic decided to say no to their uranium exploitation, uranium is now gone up to almost $70 per pound, or how do they measure it? It is almost $70. But they were taking it for $11 or $10 from there. Because for you to see the amount of uranium they were extracting from this, Niger Republic, immediately they block it. Uranium prices went high. Immediately. So who is fooling who? So because they say no more exploitation of their natural resources, it is all about now trying to use the citizens. The citizens are always on the receiving end of these things. When two elephants fight, it is the ground that suffers. It is the ground now that is suffering. It is always being targeted as the citizens. For you, the whole world to see that all this fight, pushing for war to happen in the sub-Saharan region of Africa, it is not about the care for democracy. It is about the care for oppression, continuous colonialism. That has been the plan. So for you to see it as an evidence, I am still reading. New visas for students coming from 3 countries will not be issued. The Foreign Ministry told AFP on Saturday, adding that those student researchers and artists already in France are welcome and will be able to continue their activities and keep their funding. Now, Campus France, the legacy that promotes French higher education abroad and helps foreign students in France, said that scholarships award to students from the 3 countries who are already in France will stay active. France's Research and Higher Education Minister said that visa service will be suspended for security reasons. Did you see where they have now placed it to be this is about politically correct. For security reasons. Who knows what these people who are under French scholarship are going to be going through in France? The ones they say they will stay. Who knows what they are going to be going through? Who knows what will be the new arrangement? Because of course, if this things is like this, he said for security reasons. Please tell me something. This Europe, they have most advanced security technology in the world. France have advanced security technology in the world. Is it one student? These students are not coming in thousands. They are coming one from their various destinations to France. Now they have now said that it is because of security reasons. But remember from the beginning where they contradicted themselves. Let me go back there before we go to this, because we are trying to find out and we are trying to do some exposition. Now, it says that after suspending visas for artists, France is now doing the same for students from Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, citing closure of French consular service in the countries as making their delivery impossible. Did you see that? Because they closed French consular services in their various countries. That is the reason why French bring up their own logic to say that it is all about security. Let me read it where they say that. Campus in France, okay, say that. Campus France, the agency that promotes French higher education abroad and helps foreign students in France, said that the scholarship awarded to students from the 3 countries who are already in France will stay active. French Research and Higher Education Minister said that the visa services will be suspended for security reasons. Now tell me, what security reasons? When you see how how self-contradictory it sounds. From the beginning, they say that because they have suspended their consular services. They have suspended their consular services. From top here. After suspending visas for artists, France is now doing the same for students from Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, citing the closure of French consular services in the countries as making their delivery impossible. Now, you see now how they contradicted it. They come down here to tell you it is for security reasons. What security reasons? What exactly is the security reasons that one person will travel from their home country to France for school, which they will be scrutinized thoroughly? Instead of suspending it, since it is for security reasons, why will they not implement more or extraordinary scrutiny, security scrutiny on those who are coming from this, they are now, all of a sudden enemy country to French? Why aren't they employing extra scrutiny on those people? Instead of suspending and frustrating students who are actually going there to study. Have you now seen it is complex issue? This is not about security. This is about revenge. That is what I am seeing here. It is about revenge. It is not about issue of security, because they have also contradicted themselves here. Because you stop our consular services, we will stop your students from entering France. And they say for security reasons. What a bizarre situation. What an irony. For security reasons. These people think we are really monkeys. That is, they take us for granted because they believe we are monkeys. That's why they do not want our voices to be heard. Let us continue to read. France said that scholarship awarded to students from the 3 countries who are already in France stay active. France's Research and Higher Education Minister said that the visa services will be suspended for security reasons, but that existing cooperation with universities and other scientific establishments will not be interrupted. Some 6,700 students are currently in France, including 3,000 from Mali, 2,500 from Burkina Faso, and 1,200 from Niger Republic. They are there. The foreign minister never gave instruction to suspend cooperation with Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso or its citizens. It is France's cooperation with these 3 countries that is suspended. Given the security and political context, I hear you. The ministry said in response to criticism that it had effectively boycotted artists by suspending their visas. Did you see that? They are not doing it only to students, to artists too. So artists who is coming to perform in France now, they say it is for security reasons. Artists who come with microphone, if they even come with microphone, it is for security reasons. Because artists will now maybe become a terrorist instead of being an artist in France. That's what they are telling us. That's what they are telling us. We have seen 99. 100 is nothing for us. That's what they must know. The foreign minister never gave, okay, they said he never gave instruction. A few days after the coup in Niger Republic, France suspended its cooperation with the country on 29 July and with Burkina Faso on 6 August. A similar decision was made in regards to Mali in November 2022. So, have you now seen? This is a revenge. It is not as a result of security situation. These people does not want Africa to rise up. These people are very, very mean, if I may tell you. This is called wickedness. It is not about anything. It is about wickedness. What have Africans done to Europeans? The question we need to ask Europeans, what have we done to them? Is it our mistake that they come from Europeans when they had no civilization, when they had nothing, they made their way into Africa? We actually welcomed them. From welcoming them, they started their manipulation, they started their, penetration, they started their, everything they did and conquered us. We did not do anything to these people. We have not done anything to Europeans. Europeans have done many things evil against us. Today they appear that they are the most beautiful hearts, humanitarians. They are the ones who provide Africa aids, human monetary aids. They are the ones who provide Africa help. If I may say it like that, because if I say AIDS, it will look like it's HIV. Including that one, it also came from them. One thing we must understand is that Africa have never committed any crime. The only crime we committed is that God created us and made us rich. That's the only crime of Africa to Europeans. Europeans has been dealing with us and forcing down our throat what is so-called democracy, forcing it down our throat, and we've been swallowing it, even though we could not breathe. We've been swallowing it because we are so weak. We are weak to the point that we cannot stand up to make use of what God gave to us. We are dependent on other people to make use of it, then we will buy it from them. What a curse. If it is a curse, this generation of Africa need to stand up and challenge that curse, because there is a expiry date for everything. There is a change. Everything, the only thing constant in life is change. If we cannot stand up to challenge the status quo will continue to challenge us. You see, this issue of, bringing issue, displacement and the, amalgamation of those who are not compatible with each other. We need to destroy that narrative. We need to destroy it. We must make sure that we stand up and fight for our rights, because our children will not do it if they did not see us doing it. And you do not wish for your children to grow up and they start, suffering, complaining. They will complain, running helter-skelter, ending up in different type of crime if they are not killed by themselves, by gangsterism, because it is what you see in a situation, in a place where people are suffering. And where people does not have a good job, and idle minds becomes devil's workshop. This is what they have projected on us. And that is, we are living according to their projection. When are we going to say no to this projection of our enemies? When are we going to say no to it? Anybody who rise up to actually, conscientize the people, to sensitize the communities, that person will be brought down. And the same reason why Bob Marley say, how long will they kill your prophet? Why you stand aside and look? Why don't you lend hand to make sure that this prophet that is risen up to tell you what is the problem is secured? And he went ahead to say that the emancipation of our mind, that it is us that will do it for ourselves. Nobody except you that will do it for yourself. Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger Republic, they have risen up to do it for themselves. We don't know about Gabon. We haven't, I don't know exactly what's going on there. If you didn't see their name in this list, it shows that it could be them that actually orchestrated, because once they are finished with you, once they are done with you, they dump you. That's exactly how it is. They're done with you, they dump you, they need you no more. That's exactly what I feel that is going on in France, in Gabon. Well, I don't know, because if they did not add them in the list of these rebellions, the rebellious people that does not want neo-colonialism anymore, it means that there is something about Gabon's coup, because nobody made noise about it. Nobody made noise about it. I don't know. I am just exaggerating. Leave it like that. So it is very, very important that we continue. You see Niger Republic, you see Burkina Faso, you see Mali. They have done themselves the biggest favor if they actually hold on. What we need to be telling them is that, hold on, don't let go. Hold on, do not let go. Hold on, don't let go. Freedom is a step away. So that's what we need to start singing for these people. They need to hold on. We know the challenges is too much. We know the challenges is too much. It's extraordinary. But the kingdom of God suffers violence, but the violent people take it by force. When they talk about violent people taking it by force, it's not about violent people but fight. You need to hold on. Endurance. You need to endure and hold on. Don't say they have sanctioned us, they have done this, they have done that, they are isolating us. No, let us go and beg them. Let them come back. No. One day they will be tired of sanctioning you. North Korea is under sanction, but North Korea is testing ballistic missile every day. North Korea is everywhere. They are under sanction. Oh. North Korea now meets president of Russia. They are under sanction. It is only a resilient mind that defeats what this neo-colonialist throws at them. It takes a resilience to make sure that you come off the shackle of slavery. The yoke of iron that is placed around our neck, it is seen. This yoke of iron, it is no longer visible. That they have placed on every African. The yoke of iron. If you check all these slavery stories, slavery videos, that yoke they put on your neck so that you don't move, you are not free. It is still in all our neck. But this time around, it is not no longer physical. It is no longer physical. It is now systemic. That is the reason why whenever you try to break free, you become a naughty boy that need to be dealt with, that need to be isolated. That's exactly what they've been doing. They did it to Zimbabwe. They did it to Zimbabwe. When they tried to break free, they dealt with them. These are naughty boys. We need to deal with them. We isolate them. We make sure they do not have a currency. We deal with them. And when they are dealing with you, sometimes they will even make visa available for you to start running. Because as long as they are dealing with you, they know the next thing that they will look for a stooge that will be selling your resources in a black market. That is it. Once you start running as an individual, running into where you feel like it's a comfort zone, it is good. You run to comfort zone, they will continuously deal with you. And when they are dealing with you amicably, using a colonial stooge that is found in your land, knowing that everything that you own as a country will be sold on a black market, and they are under sanction. They cannot, which dollar is the trading currency which they use to sanction you. If you cannot have access to dollar, how will you buy? How will you sell? So that is exactly, they will now start bringing that dollar to buy things. If they are selling this thing $50, they will buy it $10 or $15 from you, because you are under sanction. It is illegal. So that's what these people has been doing to us. How do we navigate this situation? And now it becomes a peripheral issue. Once they've started dealing with you, removing you, making sure they will give you visa so that you will be reducing. So the remaining ones are poor people. Remember that the ones that will be able to afford their flight ticket, they are the ones that will, maybe you call them middle class. They might be called a middle class. So the remaining ones are political leaders. And now the poverty institution that is left behind. Poverty institution, they can be utilized anyhow they want to utilize them. They can use them to do killing. They can use them to do protest against anybody who will rise up. They can use them to, to do election rigging. They will use them. That is the reason why each and every time I come online, I tell you that poverty is an institution in Africa, because they will now select your professional. Will I say that your talents? They will select your talents. They will tell you they need a critical skills. They call them critical skills. They will now take them into their various countries. Critical skills. Those who are educated, who might even lend a hand to the country to make it even greater. They will actually single them out, send them abroad, critical skills. They will go there and they will be helping the nations where they are to thrive, while your nation does not have even skills, talk more of critical ones, because they have all been, migrated to Europe and America. So that nobody will have a voice, nobody who will understand the systemic colonialism, the systemic approach being used to destroy the minds and destroy the country and exploit the resources coming out of these countries without question asked. They will buy it on black market. That's why you started hearing about gold mafia coming from Zimbabwe, gold mafia, all these things. It is all about exploiting what they own after sanctioning them, because they know once we make dollar to be a problem for you. Once we bring dollar, you will sell it anyhow. You will sell it anyhow, as long as you are able to see dollar. Now, why did I call it a peripheral issue? Because it is an issue you cannot see. It is an issue you cannot see. It is the things, the deals that are done from the blind spot. That is the reason why it is called systemic issues. They are dealing with our people. And we cannot fathom how they are doing it. But these things exist in the minds of a layman. When you talk about these things, they will tell you are speaking grammar. That's what they are going to tell you. You are speaking grammar. because they don't understand. So how can you tell me that you are so wonderful people? You are so good people. You are giving my nation a monetary aid, financial aid, maybe to curb one of the diseases that actually came from your side, to curb some of these diseases. And immediately when we say no, we need to be equal in the global stage, we need to actually control our resources, we don't need you to control and dictate for us anymore, you will now cut out the aid. So what does that entail? It is a clear indication that there has never been a financial aid, but there has been exploitation fee that they are paying to you. Exploitation fee. And we call it financial aid. Let them do away with it. If you don't call it exploitation fee, you call it a stipend fee to your president, because they are the ones who are the recipient of these fees. If they make $1 billion, they give you $1 million and they call it financial aid. They exploited $1 billion from you. They give you maybe $1 million and they call it financial aid. Dude, who is fooling who? Let them hold their financial aid. Just like South African president told them that Africa is not a beggar. I hope he mean it. Africa is not a beggar. Because they see you to be a beggar. Because the people they claim you vote. Remember, they claim you vote them into position of power. Remember, I said to you, poverty becomes an institution. When poverty becomes an institution, they will manipulate you using a food parcel. Are you understanding me? Using a food parcel. Because they know you like this nice food. Once they buy you maybe a Milo, one tin of Milo or coffee, they buy you macaroni, they buy you all this steam food that you have never seen, not knowing that you are more healthy than those people who eat those canned foods. Though they buy it for you because you have never seen it before, you will get so enticed and amazed. They bought us European food. They bought us nice food. Which party is that? We are going to rally about them. That's why I call it an institution. Poverty. It makes you are not informed. Poverty keeps you uninformed, keeps you on periphery, keeps you out of information. Make sure that you don't know anything so that whatever they throw at you, you will catch it fun. You will see it to be fun, or you will see it to be beneficial to you. That's why I call it an institution. And it is indeed an institution. As far as Africa is concerned, if we can do away with this institution called poverty in Africa, you will find democracy diminishing in Africa, because no one is going to rally about them because they needed food parcels, or because they need palliatives. You will not find anybody running around them. Even if they kill how many of you, at the beginning of election campaign, you will find these same people who were killed, who were starved, who were intimidated, who were brutalized by the law enforcement, rallying about these same people who dealt with them. Don't you see? When we talk about mind emancipation, or when we talk about mind destruction, poverty is number one weapon to destroy our minds. Poverty. Because if you are poor, you will believe that a devil who just gave you a loaf of bread, a devil that has been killing you all this while, one day he come and give you a loaf of bread, you will start worshiping that devil and call that devil God. And maybe you will start seeing God otherwise, because you will say, God, after all, I never see you before. The devil which I had been seeing is now turning to be good to me. You start calling it devil. Have you now seen how they have twisted your mind? You are no longer thinking like a human being. You are no longer thinking like a Homo sapien. You are now thinking like Homo erectus. That's the way it is. And that's why they have the impetus, the audacity to call you a monkey. Because they have made you to be like monkey. That's why they are calling you a monkey in advance. Because they know how their monkey behave. Because monkey is their pet. Their pet at home is monkey. They know how they behave. They know the quality of the mind of a monkey. So they have now, figured out how to make you, put you under their control. So you become their monkey. How do we navigate this problem? This generation, I know, have the potential to navigate this problem and set Africa free. But it needs consistency. It needs a lot of resilience to achieve that. Just like our people, our brothers and sisters that are in the Mali, Niger, and the Burkina Faso, they are doing it. In a long run, they are eventually going to achieve this freedom, and we will be watching. If you have not started, you will be watching. All you will be saying, had we know. The militaries in your own area who are actually brutalizing people, communities, burning communities, killing people, they will be watching other military living a good life, leading their nations into success. They will be there messing up the life of ordinary people. What will they tell their children? Because their children will get to hear the story of the rise and fall of colonialism in Niger Republic, the story of the rise and fall of colonialism in Mali, the story of rise and fall of colonialism in Burkina Faso. They are going to hear the story, and they will ask you as a military man, when you saw these people doing it, what did you do for your country? What are you going to tell them? Of course, you got no shame. You have shaved off your eyebrows, so you wouldn't mind lying to them. You have no shame. That's the problem. They are using you as a military to cause destruction on your people. They are using you as a military to bring doom on your people. And you believe that na wanza na loku no na aramanu. You don't know you are actually roasting. You know, when a bird is roasting, the bird will think that it is just, compressing oil, or it's just bringing out fat, or they are just bringing out fats. They don't know they are roasting. That is exactly what it becomes of you. Because by the time you realize, no, I am not actually bringing out fat, I am roasting, it is already too late for you. You have roasted beyond repair. That's the problem that our people have. You don't realize that you are burning. You don't realize that you are going down. You don't realize that you are being doomed, destroyed. You believe, no, I am a guy man. It is all about individual. Once I grab this, those who are criminals, those who are doing Yahoo, those who are doing different, all sort of illegal jobs, they will tell you, once I secure the bag for my family, I'm good. Without knowing that securing the bag for your family, criminal politicians securing the bag for your family, you are not good. Because you are still going to grapple with noise pollution, generator, to get electricity. you are still going to be grappling with, insecurity because you did not make provision for security. You are not good. One good terms deserves another. What goes around comes around. No matter how rich you are not safe. You don't have a private life. Anybody that is, moving with security everywhere they go, they are not safe. They don't have a private life. You know why? That's why you will not sometimes you hear that this rich man, they say that the bodyguard sleep with the wife. That rich man, there's a rumor that the bodyguard, do this with their children. These are stories. You know why? Because you are not free. There is always people that is telling you. You always have people that is at your back telling you. But if there is adequate security in the land, I don't think you will bother. You will be needing bodyguard, or you will be needing security all over you, everywhere you go. So you that is believing that you are securing the bag for your family, you don't have security. You do not. And when you steal something, it does not last. There is an adage in our land that says that if I huta no holo na no holo. What is it means in English? Anything that you get so easily. If I want to actually translate it verbatim, as according to my language, you say that anything you get from whistling is going to go through whistling, because it didn't take you anything to get it. You just make, and you get that thing. It will go. Easy come, easy go. That's what it means. When you secure the bag illegally for your family, you are in a government position. You believe you are securing the bag for your family. That bag you are securing for your family will not be there for a very, very long time, because you have a lot of expectation. You have secured the bag. You are rich now. Are you going to be successfully securing the bag at every given time? No, of course not. The most important thing I need to tell you, African children, African women, African men, African leaders, it is time to go home. It is time to emancipate yourself, because none but yourself can do that for you. Hold those in power to account. It is not about being, it is not about, complaining. Hold them to account. Let there be revolution. Let us leave this oppression. Let us destroy these institutions called poverty that they are using to destroy our minds. They are using to control our minds. Let us take that man, one man that is controlled to control millions of you. Let us take him out of that place, and let us take a decision on how to build our lives, because we have seen 99. So to get to 100 is nothing. We have seen our problem. So the solution can be easily accessible, except if we don't want it. When we talk about the story of Jesus Christ all the time, so many people does not understand that the story of Jesus Christ is a man who came to advocate for the freedom of his people. He was a man who came to advocate for the freedom of his people. And he ended up being killed. He died that his people may live. That is the Jesus Christ we talk about. He died that his people may live, because of his altruistic, lifestyle. When we talk about story of Jesus Christ, we are talking, many people, because of how they have actually placed the story, because of how they have turned it upside down, because of how they have brought myth into it, We can no longer fathom that it is things that took place in real life. We don't understand it. He came, he fought for his people, he died for his people, that his people may have better life. So who is that today that is willing to make sure that his next generation have a better life? Where is the Jesus perspective? Where is it? Rather, the Europeans came to us. They gave us so many things, even change what we own, change everything that we know, that we are, and give us another thing, including giving us a name. When you give a dog a name, you own the dog. They gave us a name in the name of we are going to Papa Milichukum. We are going to do baptism. What is your baptism name? It's always an English name, right? It comes, according to your colonial language. Your baptism name comes according to your colonial language. Ours comes according to British language, because British they were the colonialists. So they gave all of us English name, British name, English name. If they don't call you Joseph, they call you many names, English names. And it will overshadow your own original name, because you must promote that one they've been given to you. And where are these people able to enter us? How are these people able to penetrate us at any given time? It is always through religion. And I want you to understand that this issue of religion, it is a very, very complex matter. Every crusader came, and there are things that people does not understand, that crusaders does not come with religion. They find that thing that you practice, they will now create a faction of what you practice. They will now make what you practice weak, and they will use it to enslave your mind. The same thing they came into Africa. The Bible we see was written in a scroll, was found in Egypt. Egyptians were pitch black people. That's why when you see Egyptian mummies today, they are all black people. People that were found in Egypt was black and brown people, which is crossbreed, that made of these brown people you found in Egypt. Now today, you will never see black people telling you that they are Egyptians today. You only see the Arabs, because the crusade of Arabs that started from 13, 14th century dominated. Remember, each time they come in, they will see what they found that binds you together, that actually create laws in your land. They factionalize it. They turn it upside down. They will come and now sell it back to you. When they sell it back to you, you have become inferior to them, because they have used what you own without you knowing, because your consciousness is asleep. They will now bring it and sell it back to you, that you cannot even comprehend. You can no longer remember, this is me. Now they are now giving me in a different direction, in a different body. They are now giving me in a different body. That has been what happened. They don't come with religion. They study what you have. They create faction of what you have. And it comes in the name of religion. The religious, the 13th, 14th century crusaders, when they arrived in Arab nation, which was called the northeast of whatever Africa was called, whether Eden or whatever it was called, the northeast of Eden, it was conquered by the Arabs. And who are the Arabs? If you go to the biblical text of who are the Arabs, you will understand that in the biblical text of who are the Arabs, it comes from the Ishmael marriage, Edomite, the Europeans' marriage to Ishmael. Europeans' marriage to Ishmael. And remember, a father is the seed, or a seed comes from the father. A father determines where the child comes from. If you check biblical history of who are the Arabs today, Arabs are not original people. They are not I'm not saying they are not original people. They are not actually, indigenous people. They are not indigenous people. Because Arab people you see today, they are part of this, some of these people you see that, they are from Africa, which is their own mother. Their mother come from Africa. Arab people. Their mother come from Africa. Their father came from Europe. That's why they become the way they are. If you read the book of Genesis, you will understand when it talks about Esau getting married to Ishmael. And that's when they gave birth to Arab. Remember that Europeans, once you are not white, you can never go white. They will discriminate against you. I am even actually wondering, who are these Vikings? Who are the Vikings that the Saxons and Britons were fighting against? Who were they? Because when you know that no matter how white you might look, you will never be white. You will be discriminated against. You will be discriminated against. That is how it is. So these people, because of the discrimination, they are not fully white. They have to now start finding a way to migrate, to go and get their own, place, the place called their own. That's why they invaded Africa first. Ishmael was the oldest son of Abraham. Ishmael was the oldest son of Abraham. Then before Isaac, Isaac now got married to Rebekah. And Rebekah now, there was promise of God in the life of Rebekah. 2 different nations shall separate from the bow of Rebekah. Genesis 25. Genesis 25, if you start from 22, you will see what I'm talking about. So, as at that time, that's when there was Edom and Israelite. You see, when Israelite comes. And when Edom came, you know what God came? Genesis 25 say, the one came out red, as hairy as garment. And if you read down, he called them the Edomites. Edomites. Who are the Edomites? The Europeans. They are the Edomites. Now, you see, they are Esau's, and there is Jacob. My ancestor is Jacob. My ancestor is Jacob. Genesis 46 verse 16. It shows the history of my ancestor. It is there. As the same way it shows the history of so many of African ancestral origin. If you actually know about the history and the names of your ancestor, you will find it in Genesis 46. Especially those who are bloodline to Jacob. So these people now came in knowing that the only way we can get to control these people, if we are able to control what they actually respect the most. And what we respected the most was our God. And what actually keep the relationship with our God going. That's what we respected the most. If they could actually infiltrate that thing we respect the most and factionalize it. And once they factionalize it, through that faction, they control us. Because once they control our good norms and value system, what we see to and call our good norms and value system, because it has been bastardized. That's why I put it in that context of what we see. Because the original good norms and value system of our people prevent our people from committing crime. We don't commit crime. Nobody police you around to know whether you commit crime. Because once you commit crime, the land where you are standing becomes your enemy. That was the good norms and value system of our people, our land. But it has been bastardized. That energy that protects the land departed from the land. Because now you have actually accepted a harlot. You have accepted a harlot, which is that faction of what appears to be what you know. They started teaching you, no, you don't do it like that. They will tell you, Meliseleso, stop the killing of twins. They will tell you, this person, stop the killing of albino. They will tell you this, just to make you evil. To make what you believed in evil. That's why they will start quoting those, history for you. That person, that white woman, that white person, they stop you from being barbaric. And but when these people they are telling us stops us from being barbaric are the real barbaric people. Imagine the irony of it. Now, going to the the one that is going to be everyone is going to be familiar with, because there is something. If you look at the how missionaries came to Africa. They came to water the ground for colonialism. Because they have to act like the good people. When the bad people are coming in, the good people are the ones that are seen to be the good people. Who watered the ground to make you know, no, don't fight back. God is going to fight for you. If they slap you this side, turn the other side, let them slap you. Factionalizing what you are to sell it back to you in order to destroy you, to make you weak. Bible is of ours. We own it. We know it is our own thing. The book of our ancestors. Which these people who actually possess the book does not know what is written in the book. That is the reason why people are burning the book today. Because the book has been taught wrongly. It is the book that if it is in a wrong hand, it does more evil than good. And that book has been in the wrong hand. That is the reason why people who believe their consciousness is now realizing they are burning it. They are rejecting it. Because it has done more evil than good. Because it has been in the wrong hand. Pastors who want to drive private jet. Ministers who want to, be the highest, the richest. They use that book to manipulate our brain. They use such book to steal from us, to extort money from us. They lie to us using that book, quoting the part of the book that actually looks like it favors their lives. We are the people of the book. That's why we are able to read the book and extract truth from that book. Bible is not the one harming people. It is the people who are wielding the Bible that are using it to harm people. Because of the antecedent of those who call themselves the missionary, they came to bastardize the Bible so that we will now we will discontinue from our heritage. Today, Chinese is actually rewriting Bible. I don't know what they are planning to achieve, but we are watching to see why they are rewriting Bible. Chinese, they are rewriting Bible. But if you understand, ask yourself, why is it that the God that Russia they pray to is black. Have you ever asked yourself? But the Europeans painted to you a black people as a devil with 2 horns. And they now depicted a story telling you that when Daniel was praying, or whoever was praying, and then Gabriel went to deliver the prayer request, and Lucifer, which is a black man, a typical black man with a big horn like a cow, blocked him because he's not the angel that fights. Angel Michael now appear, a white guy, a white guy with blue eyes appear to go and deliver the prayer request of a black guy, Daniel. Is that not what an irony? And they tell us all this rubbish, we believe them. And the angel, he's always a black guy, the angel, the bad guy. Why is it that Russia is praying to the bad guy? Why are they praying to the bad guy? Because Russia, when you see, what they pray to, it is black. It is black. And from all indications, if you read the book, the Bible, even Christ was black. Even, the depiction the Bible gave about God and Christ was black. And now the people whom their mind is asleep, they will ask you, they will tell you the color does not matter. No, if the color does not matter, why did it matter to them to depict a story to tell you that Angel Michael was a white, handsome white guy with a blue eyes with muzzles, sitting on top of a black demon, a demon that is black with a horn? It does not matter. Why was that depiction made? Because that is always one thing that you tell yourself. You call people like us racist. We are not. We are realistic. Our consciousness is fast awoken. It's actually awoken, rather. It is no longer fast asleep. That's why we are able to see these things. They watered their ground with the Christianity to us. To that part of the world who is seen to be Arab today, they watered their ground with the type of Islam they introduced to them. Islam of oppression. They introduce it to them. The same way they introduced to us Christian of oppression. That's why you go to street of London, you will see people. That's why you see Malcolm X. The type of preaching of Islam he preached is not as, fanatic about the Saudi Arabia. Now that is the reason why you see Saudi Arabia. They are now dropping this fanaticism of this being fanatic about their religion. They are dropping it slowly because now they know that the world is evolving. If they cannot drop it, many people will isolate from them. That's why they are able to bring C. Ronaldo and all these people to play for them in their football. That is actually what is going on. Religion done us bad than good. More harm than good. Christian religion, Islamic religion, it did us as African bad than good. Not to talk about the ones they call the traditionalists. Those becomes criminals. They become criminals. None of them is doing us good. Now, let me tell you what this religion did to our women and our men. It is through this religion they advise our men don't get married because they know that we are the people who knows and promote what is actually, biblical driven. They know that Africa will promote what is biblical driven. They tell us don't marry. Dedicate yourself to God. You will marry to Jesus Christ. You will marry to God. Your body is a temple of God. So you need to keep that temple. Don't marry, don't bear children. You will be keeping the temple for God. But you are using that temple, Father and Reverend Sister, na apia anyhow. They said your body is a temple of God. Don't use it to go and get married. Which one of them, to my greatest surprise, when I posted something, one of my comrade actually, interview one of my comrade granted to one of ex-reverend sister and reverend mother. I posted it. Somebody just, come up to that to tell me, because I posted it and I will talk. It is about talking about what is going on in the life of reverend sister and reverend fathers. Those that Catholicism is a cult. C-U-L-T. C-U-L-T. It is a cult. It is a secret cult, which we know that secret cults are for the people who do secret stuff. But we don't see Catholic Church as secret cult. Do you know why? And if you look at this Christianity, the beginning of Christianity started with Catholicism. Beginning of Christianity, introduction of Christianity, the mother of it is Catholic. The Bible says we should not have we should not create for ourselves any graven image or bow down before them. In the book of Exodus 20, Catholic came with the cement, sand. And if you go to Deuteronomy, the prophecy of these people was given to us in Deuteronomy 28. It said to us, they will make us to worship wood and cement. Was it cement? Wood and stones. They will make us to worship wood and stones when we are going into the slavery. Because he gave us the prophecy of us going to slavery. And he showed us what they will make us do. And those things are now in public domain. What they have made us do. If you go and read the book of Deuteronomy from number 1 to the end, you will see that everything that the prophecy says there is what has happened and is what is still happening. It says that they will make us to worship wood and stones. When Catholic Church came, they came with a cross, wood. They put a stone there, which is the so-called Jesus and Mary. And we were worshiping it. The prophecy fulfilled. And we didn't know, because we are not supposed to read Bible. We are supposed to allow these people to read it and explain it to us, because we are lame. Our brain is not working. It is all about, that's why they came, introduce bulletin that you have to buy. They don't want you to read that Bible, because they need to extract exactly what they want to push, a narrative that they want to push, and sell it to you directly. Instead of you taking that book and reading it and understanding what is written there, they have to extract it, sell it to you. You have to buy it, even though you have the book, but you have to buy a piece of it that does not have precept of all of it. It does not have all the precept needed. They will sell it to you. Use it to brainwash you. After brainwash you talk an hour. Then you will be hearing, Holy Lord, in the Jesse land. Holy Lord, in the Jesse land. You will be hearing a beautiful music from them. You will be believing, no, this is God. Some of you will start saying, I was getting goosebumps. And when this song was going on, you don't know that you are not getting anything. Your brain is reacting to your stupidity. That's why when pastor come and say, take, people will start falling like fools. When nothing is pushing them. It is just their brain. They will work on your mind. They will destroy you. They will destroy you. That you will begin to respond to stimulus that does not exist. That's what these people managed to achieve and they did to our people. God will say, don't worship any graven image. Don't bow down to them. You find people, if you see, all this Roman Catholic Church, you find them bringing stones, sitting them down. Some people are kissing it. Some people are bowing down to it. Some people are praying it. Ask them, why are they going contrary to that book? They say it is a book of Christianity. If that book is indeed a book of Christianity. Because Bible is never a book of Christianity. It is never a book of Christianity. It is a book that has the principles of life. It is a book that has the warning of all the things we are seeing today. It is a book of history. Bible is a book of history. It is a book of constitution. It is a book of prophecy. Every prophecy is written there. There is no more prophets. What you see are criminals. Believe you me. Believe you me. I saw one guy who said he's a Christian. He went to a fanatic Christian. He went to argue with a Muslim, educated Muslim. You know, when I was watching that thing, I felt so disgusted. I said, is this what this person who called himself a fanatic Christian was able to present? It is how about we worshiping that which we knew nothing about. That's why they were able to brainwash our people to go and become a reverend father. When God will say, go ye into the world and multiply. European came and said contrary to what God will say. And say that you should take your body, take this your body, give it to Holy Spirit. And you as a man, you took your manhood that you're supposed to use to reproduce, to give it to something you don't know what it is. The so-called Holy Spirit. Maybe from there you start, destroying children who are coming for broke rosary. Those children who are going to clean the church. That's what the reverend fathers are doing in our land. It is prevalent in everywhere. You see those children that are female children, even male that are dedicated to church, they are being molested by reverend fathers. Ask some of them who are grown up today. They will tell you, I am telling you the honest truth. I am speaking of experience. My schoolmate, when he was going, he was invited by a reverend father. I warned him because I was more exposed than him. Very, very much exposed than him. We were in the same class in high school. I told him, where you are going, be careful about this person you are going. It's a boy, not a man, not a guy, a boy. You know, it started with massage me. He was massaging a reverend father. I'm Father Kenya. And I'm Father Kenya. Father, I say I massage what they am. If I call the area where this thing happened, I know the name of that father. And every father that came to that parish were the same people. They were, if not they are molesting men molesting boys, you will find men molesting small children, girls. And it starts with all massage me. They will be penetrating. These are the people who will actually tamper with virginity of a child. You will not bleed because they are so patient about it. What I am telling you is what I have seen. Not be say they tell me. But they said to themselves they are giving their body to marry to Christ. So the Christ is the children who are coming to clean the parish house. The Christ you are married to are the children coming to clean the parish house. Those are the Christ that they told you from Vatican that you are married to. And this is applicable to every part of the world where you see these people who so-called claim they are married to Christ. Their body is a temple of God for molestation of children. Because the parents of anybody, you see that how you will be able to understand that Catholic is a cult. It's that anybody who were Roman Catholics, they were fanatics. They were fanatics. They will never believe that a reverend father will commit a sin. That has been the case. Let all of them, if they doubt what I am saying, although let me not go there, because these people, they have no shame. All of them na time dead and man. all of them. You will tell me a man that his manhood is still working. Say, I dedicate my manhood to God because I want to go and become a reverend father. And a woman who is fertile will dedicate her fertility to God. When God will say, go ye into the world and multiply. There is one of the fanatics who came to challenge me when I posted that video. What she said to me, she said I should go and read the book of Matthew 19. And I actually selected that book of Matthew 19. And I posted it back to her, so that she will tell me exactly what this book of Matthew said. Because it was all about who told them not to get married. What is driving the agenda of these people not getting married? They said I should go and read the book of Matthew. Dude, I brought the book of Matthew for them. I posted it in the comment section. I believe that this person might be under the influence of my voice. Let me call the name of that person. So, at the end of the day, I was waiting for, and he said to me, please reply. I replied to him, waiting for this person to actually tell me the reason why he gave me the book of Matthew. His name is Chika Aleke. He said, ignorance is a disease, and this applies to you, brother. It shows you are not qualified to discuss Christian truth. Please read Matthew 19 regarding Christ's teaching on marriage. He said, some have made themselves Inuch because, or is it Enochs or Inuch? Because of the kingdom of heaven. I am waiting for your reply. He says some have, okay, I believe that when he talk about Inuch or Enochs or whatever he wrote there, he is talking about trying to defend the reverend fathers and reverend sisters, because it is all about trying to understand the reason why they said that they are married to Christ instead of married to a man, which you are a man. A mortal body deals with a mortal body. You are married to a spirit when you are a mortal body. Now, let us now bring it to that Matthew. Let me read Matthew. The beginning of Matthew of that 19 will be able to tell us exactly what this person is talking about, because he said, I am not qualified to talk about Christianity because he knows better. Let me just read the book of Matthew. I will start Matthew 19. I will start from verse 3 to 5. From verse 3 to 5. The Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him and saying unto him, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause? And he answered and said unto them, have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female? Did you hear that? He who made them at the beginning made them male and female. For those of you who are also confused whether you are a male or female, read it here. This also concerns you, because it is part of all these things they brought to us. Those of you who become confused whether you are a male or female, I am still reading. He who made them male and female, and said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. This is what a person who said to me, even if there are places where he talk about people being Inuch or Enochs, is still in this 19. Verse 3 to 5 nullifies what he understood there, because I believe that he is reading according to what the pastor taught him. He said that God created male and female, and make a man to leave his wife, his father and his mother. Make a man to leave his father and woman to leave her father and the mother, and they become, the husband and wife become one body. What does that actually preach? It preach that a man must get married. A man, it is a duty of every man and woman to get married and multiply. So is there any place in this place where this person who believes that I am not qualified to talk about their Christian, that he does not know the origin and the antecedent of this religion that he is championing? You know, so many of you does not know that this thing they call Niger Republic, it's in the Bible. They don't know where it began. Go and read the book of Acts of Apostles 11:26. Then you read the book of Acts of Apostles, I think 4. Is it 14 verse 4? That's when these Europeans called black people, called the Jews, the Israelites in Antioch, all the way in Antioch, they were called the Niger. You call it Niger, but it is called Niger because Niger is supposed to end with JL or JE, Niger. Anything ends with G is gay. That's why people from Russia, not countries, they call Nigeria. You know, that is part of the things that, you know, when you see people who are educated, you know, confusion becomes the order of the day. They will no longer even be able to pronounce something because the word nigger becomes a byword, becomes a sin, becomes a crime. To call it to people, they now started changing a written word, nigger, calling it what it is not. If they want to change it, they should change it and tell people to stop calling. They should change the spelling. If they want to change it, they haven't changed the spelling, but those with PhD holder have changed the wording. For you to see how our mind is easily manipulated. Because we don't have a decision of our own. We are not actually, working like original people. We are dependent. We are not independent at all anymore. We become so lame that everything that we have to do must be dictated for us by the people who are oppressing us. That is the reason why they tell you not to go and marry and reproduce and increase the population. Because they know it will affect Africa. So many of them argued that even Europeans are being reverend fathers and reverend sisters. They are. But when they feel that they cannot do it, they just run out and go and get married. They will not tell you. They cover their own secret. They don't tell you. It is our secret that is in the public domain. Believe you me, even God is angry with all these so-called reverend fathers and reverend sisters. Because they are going contrary to what God said. Go into the world and multiply. You tell me you are giving. Did God tell you that if you want a wife or a husband, he cannot get for himself? Did he tell you that? You say you are giving your body to God. God who made you, if you want something, he will give it. He will give you anything. He will get for himself. Don't you know that this is actually, they know that it is going to sell, that market is going to sell in Africa. And it is part of keeping, population in check. Because it is only Africa that are so greedy that does not know that anything starts small and expands. Anything starts small and expand. Africa does not understand that you count one before you count two. When you talk about keeping your population in check, they will start bringing this stupid logic. It is also done in Europe. Europeans are sensitized. They are conscientized. Oh, it is like HIV. HIV was actually, outbreak of HIV. It came from all the way from Europe or from somewhere there. And at the end of the day, so many of these people will argue, If it is coming from that side, why is it that they are also getting it? Let me now tell you what you don't know. Before any disease outbreak starts, they will have access to to make sure they research and on that disease to see how it spreads, and they will conscientize their people. They will make sure that they inform their people how these things spread, how they can mitigate the spread of this disease. They know that Africa does not have media. Africa does not have means of communication. These are monkeys. So if these things goes there, it will kill them. Before they will get the information, it is already too late. Their population is already reduced. So that's why anything they deploy, in the likes of this, don't get married, give your body to Christ, and you are still paying this religious tax to you Rome, because everywhere you go, Catholic is Roman. It's a Roman church. You will never remove Rome behind the Catholic. You will pay that tax to Rome. Anglo, which is Britain, you pay the tax to Britain. The same way, it is a business that you pay tax to those, because they bring the franchise. All these people, places you see them, they bring the franchise. Just like the sister that was talking about, you see there is no place you see these churches that you see development. Land and the places where they're supposed to use to build football stadium or to build factories, they use it and build church. Because they don't want you to be productive. They want you to be inside that auditorium praying, shaking your head, acting like a mad person. That's what they want you to do. They don't want you to be productive. Now, have you ever imagined? Have you ever said that you need money, and God, now you pray, you lock yourself inside and pray, and money appears in front of you? No. It does not work like that. If you finish that, you pray, you go and beg for money, or you go and work for money. So what is prayer? Prayer is what you do so that your energy, if you pray, you walk towards that prayer. And the prayer is all about making your energy to be successful when you are working towards that. That's all. Prayer does not do anything for you. You do things for yourself. If you believe that prayer does things for you, pray that the car that you drive should drive you. Prayer does not do anything for you. Prayer, actually set your energy. The energy that will direct you to do what you need to do. That is the guidelines, the prayer. Prayer is just a guideline. You need to, implement the practical, which is going out there to beg for that money you are praying for, or to go and work for that money you are praying for. That's it. If you pray from 100 years to come, if you do not go and work, you will not get any money. So that is what to show you that all this church every day, 7 days a week, people are going to church, Blue Bible as a holy wage. They are all criminals. If Omo Yahoo, Blue Bible, church, father, pastors, and BFL. Kafawe Jesuol Izutego. Man. It is time for our people to start, using their brain. Because what they are using against us is very simple. It is a very, very simple arithmetics put together to use it. So, when we talk about Reverend Fathers are not getting married, imagine how many families sold their son, their sister, their daughter for slavery. Go there. Why you will understand that Roman Catholic is a cult? Why would you go there and in the name that you are dedicating yourself to God, but you are actually having sexual intercourse more than people who are gotten married? You are having sexual intercourse more than married people. And then on doing that, you are having fun, but you are not being productive. Yet you are coming to tell people, Bible says, don't have sexual intercourse, so that they will not have children. Bible says he created a man and a woman to go out there and reproduce. You are telling them don't have sexual intercourse, but you are having it with children, with adults, with reverend sisters. So you enjoying yourself on honeymoon 24 hours a day. You are telling people Bible says don't have sexual intercourse because they want to control you, put your population in check. That area is doing what it has to do. Then HIV now does what it has to do, because now, if you have HIV, no one will have children with you, or protecting you from having HIV. There is no reproduction. It reduces the fertility rate. So that's how it is. There is always no smoke without fire. There is no smoke without fire. Everything these people bring to us, upon us, most of them are what they have actually learned from us. Africa is no longer interested in farming. But in my own land, in our own land, do you know how we measure rich people? How many bank, BANK, how many bank of farm produce do you have? That's what makes you a billionaire and a millionaire. How many bank of farm produce do you have? Where you store your farm produce. That's what we see as billionaire. But today, Africa is no longer fertile. They now tell us that no, it is now Europeans who will give us food to eat. We depend on them to eat chicken. We depend on them to eat food, vegetable, all this. Man, fruits. You ask yourself, what happened? What went wrong? They learned these things from us. They made sure that they stop us from growing, or to stop us from revolutionizing it, that they may go and revolutionize it and come back and sell it to us. That is what happened to us. Earlier we understand that we can change these things in this our lifetime, the better for us. If we continue to wait for the next person to do it, you will never do it. If you don't start now, you may never finish. That is exactly what I am here to tell you. We need to actually, wake our minds, because our mind is fast asleep. Our consciousness, we need to work with it. And before we will be able to work with it, we need to call it out. We need to wake it up in order to be able to work with it. Otherwise, we are going to continue telling our people, our children, story upon story. Bedtime story. How mighty Africa have fallen. We need to start telling our children how colonization and neo-slavery has fallen, how the rise and the fall of colonization and neo-slavery. That is this bedtime story we need to start telling our children. We don't need to continue telling them fairy tales all the time. We need to create that story. Just like Niger Republic is creating it. Just like Mali is creating it. Just like Burkina Faso is creating it. You need to create that story. You need to be the hero that saves the day. You need to create the story. Don't watch me and claim that no, this guy is talking shit because he's a Biafra, he's a IPOB, he's doing. Don't see it in that dimension. The only thing that is pushing you off from this, what I am saying, it is your ignorance and your wickedness. That's what is pushing you. Take this word and the messenger, just throw the messenger aside. Take the word of the messenger. It is very, very important. Religion is not doing us any good. It was what we had that they, duplicated, fake of it, and they are teaching it to us. That's why pastors are driving private jet. The members are suffering. Members are suffering. But members, the poorest member, give the highest tithe. You never wonder why. We will go, deep into this some other time. But I'm going to leave it here. If you're watching on YouTube, share the video. On Twitter at Judge Money C. Retweet, follow that page. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Are you watching on Judge Money blog, Judge Money official, or Judge Money/TV, or MNK IPOB? Wherever you are watching, share the video, follow the page. Until we meet again, make sure you protect your peace. Bye for now.
That have come, and this time with a wrath that you cannot even begin to imagine. And Biafra must come. I know the game they're playing. There was this stupid video that is in circulation. They can't attack ESN. They can't. They have no moral ground. But I'm sure they gave money to some idiots and gave them guns to say that